So let's talk about inner strength. Where does inner strength really come from? I'm talking about the kind of inner strength that can handle anything, really. You can endure anything. It's really, when you get this kind of inner strength that I'm talking about right now, it's sustainable. And you're probably guessing already that I'm talking about the inner strength that's based in a connection with your inner spirit. Call it the heart intelligence or the heart wisdom as well, because that's certainly a key component to the inner strength. There's another important aspect of inner strength, which has to do with really having the ability to get up above your situation, to what the Native Americans called eagle sight or eagle awareness, contrasted to mouse awareness. Well, the mouse is running around down in the field and it can't see any more than maybe an inch or two in front of its face down there in the field. And the eagle, soaring way up above, has a perspective of, who knows, 50 to 100 square miles, big perspective. So that's an aspect of inner strength too, is knowing how to rise up into the eagle awareness and see your situation from that perspective.
And when you can rise up with that eagle awareness, it helps you to move into your heart and to have more compassion for what you're going through.
Yeah, it does. So, if inner strength of this kind that we're talking about here appeals to you, know that that's something that this course really focuses on. And if you really dive into this with an open mind and an open heart, you will find more inner strength within yourself. And you will be given tools to work with as well, to increase that strength more and more and more after this course is over and realistically for the rest of your life. Right?
Yes. And one of the first places to start is that when you're facing a challenge, your mind gets really busy trying to figure out what you're going to do, and that's okay. There's a place where you want to see things from every angle and focus on a way you're going to get through this.
Try to come up with a plan.
Mm-hmm. And then there's a place where you realize that your intellect can only take you so far. And that's when it's time to shift from the intellect to the heart wisdom, which connects to that ability to look at things from an eagle's perspective.
Yeah.
But there are also many, many other tools that we present in the class. There's a place where we show you how to begin to make that shift, and how you can use the very strong emotions that are arising, the fear, the anger, the sadness, to actually open a portal to spiritual wisdom. And I know that might not be the top priority for you, like right now, like when you're facing these kinds of issues. The top priority is, I want my life to work. I want my life to have have some more stability. I want my life either back the way it was or better. But while that's happening, while you're working on that, and
which is okay. I mean, we definitely encourage you to use your skills, your mental skills, and option skills and option thinking to create plans. I mean, that's part of life, right? But while you're waiting for things to come together, what are you going to do?
yeah, we're going to show you how to move through these times in a way that, well, a simple way of saying it, where it's less stressful, or the stress becomes like a catalyst for an ability to connect to peace and ease and even joy and laughter in the middle of the challenge. Usually spirituality is about peak experiences and getting glimpses of the magnificence of who you are. But you can get those even in the midst of the challenge. But it's more of a valley type of experience where the peace, it's more like a peaceful valley than the mountaintop.
Right. The peak experience of the mountaintop.
But the valley, this peace that comes from the valley, the strength that comes from a gentle wave of peace that permeates your life, no matter what's happening, no matter what the external circumstances are, it stabilizes awakening. It's so profound, and it's worth learning in the middle of whatever challenge you're facing. I certainly wish there had been somebody there to help me and us when we were going through certain kinds of challenges. And we're bringing you the wisdom that we wished we had had at that time.
Yeah.
And we want to let you know that we also help with the personal challenges in private sessions. Talk a little bit about light body engineering.
Yeah, my work that I do alone is called light body engineering, and it's very deep, very diverse, very complex way of seeing yourself, learning to see yourself from and your existence and reality itself from a deeper and broader perspective. And it has applications for health problems and applications for what we're talking about here, opening up access to the heart, to the strength and wisdom of the heart. And then Sharon has, in her private session, she has quantum dialogue that she has created. Do you want to?
So quantum dialogue work it's about how you penetrate through these emotional challenges to find peace, like we're talking about. But it works with you on the specific challenges you're facing. And with both our work, there's a sense of, there's a possibility of it opening up doors and avenues to solutions to problems you had never seen before. In fact, with Trevor's work, people often feel like there's miracles happening in their lives.
Yeah.
My work is a blend. It's using the tools of psychology and psychospiritual wisdom for the purpose of awakening, and it brings quantum physics into it. We bring science and combine science and spirituality in all we do. So we'll bring some of that to this course as well. And So there'll be some protocols and opportunities for you um, to ask some questions about what you're really going through and how you can open doors to new possibilities there as well.
So we've been talking so far about how times of uncertainty affect the individual. Lots of different ways that can show up, and things that you'll learn in this course and be supported with as an individual. But we'd like to take just a little bit of time now and talk about what's happening for the human family.
Mm.
Okay, what's the human family? Oh, what is it? Almost 8 billion members in this family. What does this mean to them? Because we really believe that there is a huge transformation on the level of humanity being born, going through labor pains, and then being born into the world we all dream of. Okay? The world we all dream that we could live in. Where so many things work differently than they do now. Wonderful free energy inventions could be encouraged and supported and even paid for by governments instead of the other way around. And advances in medicine that are wonderful cures that may not be profitable from one standpoint, but in a society or even a whole world structured in a different way where the good of the people is paramount. It's number one. So anything and everything that's going to make life work better for everybody and be more equal for everybody is what's going to be supported, instead of just the greed of a very, very few being supported at the expense of all the rest. So I know you have some great thoughts on this subject too. Would you like to share a little bit about this?
Yeah, that was really well said. I appreciate hearing you say that. I think that as humanity is making this shift in awakening, it's like everybody has a chance to wake up right now. On different levels in different ways, but even at the spiritual level that we're sharing here with you, humanity can wake up and become an awakened species. And as we look around us, what we see is a lot of labor pains of humanity going through this process of achieving greatness, where all of us can share our hearts in safety and let the magnificence of who we really are shine forth. But right now, when we're looking at this global awakening, we see a lot of global upheaval on many different levels. And we get caught in the story that humanity is telling itself. Political stories, economic stories, stories about what's happening to the health of our planet, and a lot of division and between opposing viewpoints. And we get pulled into that. And the question is, when that happens and you feel so much uncertainty, you can't figure out what's real or what to support or how to approach this. What's important is, again, this rising up and seeing it from a different perspective. All of this is a symptom of humanity having the opportunity and needing to to look at the dark shadow of humanity and look at the darkness until the light that's really deep at the core of who we are begins to shine forth. So it's a lot about recognizing that the problems we're seeing are just symptoms of this deep opportunity for humanity to see its dark shadow and come into a glorious new beginning.
Yeah.
And what's important here is that the work that we're inviting you to do as you go through your particular challenges is to look at your own dark shadow, because as you work on your own, whatever's keeping you from being the magnificence that you already are, and clearing away those blocks so that you can shine and those around you can see the beauty that's coming forth naturally just from who you are. We want to encourage that to happen. And as that happens for you, it will happen for your loved ones, for your family, for your community. You'll become a beacon of light in the middle of the darkness, to become an ambassador for humanity's evolution just by going through your own challenging time.
Yeah.
And
I'm learning to do it gracefully and with ease.
And not do it alone. We're here so you don't have to do all of this alone.
Right. I don't think anybody is required to or meant to go through these times and these changes alone. It's really a big part of what we are birthing into is much more of what I like to call a we space, where we come together and we support each other as the segment, at least, of humanity that is at the leading edge of this evolutionary leap. And that's actually what it is. It's an adaptation that needs to be made as an evolutionary leap. In this case, the adaptation is being able, enough human beings being able to include the heart wisdom
Yes.
with the mind, and even lead from the heart wisdom with the mind being a tool, mind being the servant of the heart wisdom.
Yeah.
And that's a big adaptation, a big shift from where we are now. But we feel strongly that this is the shift that must be made. Must be made.